Hi there, my name is Damien Orangi, and welcome to this series covering AI and enterprise security with ClearML. So, when speaking to IT teams responsible for AI infrastructure platforms, the conversation at some stage is going to shift to security. And the same type of questions tend to come up. That's going to be around, of course, how do I secure my platform? I need to ensure compliance and still give my teams the flexible access they need to GPUs and datasets, all while controlling costs. So if we think about that, those type of questions tend to break down kind of further into four areas. The first is around identity and governance and data. So how do I control who accesses the platform? What can they do once they're in? And what data and resources can they reach? It's important that we can answer these questions confidently first. The second is going to be around automation. So your platform isn't just used by people. You've got agents, CI/CD pipelines, and scheduled jobs. They're all running around the clock. They're accessing data, they're consuming compute, often with elevated privileges. So how do you secure all those identities and govern what they can touch? The third is going to be around compute and production. So GPUs are expensive, sensitive data needs to land in the right places. You've got production model endpoints are now business critical. So how do you protect that investment, govern those data flows, and secure those endpoints, all without becoming the bottleneck for every team? So those first three are going to be your challenges. And the fourth is really what the rest of this series is about, right? So how does ClearML address all of this at every stage in that pipeline? And this is where the platform shines. Security, compliance, cost control, they're not bolted on, they're actually built into every layer of the platform. All of the guardrails that we'll cover in this video and in more detail in future videos, they're invisible to your AI ML teams, but they're not absent, right? Your teams will be able to get their work done securely because all of the controls are there, not in spite of them. Here's the TLDR on this slide. We need to build a secure end-to-end platform. First, we'll start with identity and access, as we mentioned, and that's automatically feeds into your governance layers as we go along. Identity and access management answers the who are you, and then role-based access controls answers the what can you do once you have access to the platform. Configuration governance, which we call vaults, is about enforcing your platform level policies on storage, container runtimes, and credentials, all applied transparently to user groups, so compliance is automatic and not optional. Next is around automation security, ensuring that non-human identities, your agents, your pipelines, your service accounts, they're all governed with the same role-based access controls, again, through your vault policies. Next is compute governance controls. So who gets access to what infrastructure on your platform? How much can they consume and where did our jobs run? Again, all driven through policy-driven quotas, reservations, and queue-based, role-based access control. If we move over then to model serving security, this is going to protect your production endpoints with token-based, role-based access control to ensure you've got full traceability on your platform. And of course, ClearML provides monitoring and audit capabilities across all these domains. So with that done, let's dig a little deeper now in the next slides. It starts where every enterprise platform should start, which is identity. ClearML integrates with your existing identity providers via OIDC, you've got SAML or LDAP support. So you get single sign-on from day one, no separate credentials to manage, no shadow accounts. The platform supports all the major identities providers. Next is about group sync. When a user logs in, they're automatically onboarded and placed into the correct groups, as their group membership details are pulled directly from your identity provider and everything's kept in sync for you. So this also means when someone changes teams and their identity providers are updated, their ClearML permissions update automatically. So you've got no manual reconciliation that you have to go through here. And those groups are then fed directly into access rules. This is the platform's fine-grained permission model. So access rules control what each group can reach. You've got your models, your projects, your tasks, queues, data views, data sets. Again, all applied at the group level. So your organizational structure is now starting to become your security structure on the platform. So next is configuration governance, and that's all about enforcing compliance policies on storage, container runtimes, and credentials. So these are all applied transparently to user groups and individuals and service accounts. Compliance is automatic, right? It's not optional. So you define approved storage destinations once, say a specific S3 bucket on-prem or an approved cloud location, and the vault will override whatever the user has set locally. So everything lands where it should. What's that kind of mean in practice? It sets default container images for all workloads, and matching rules on the ClearML agent can basically override whatever the user configures. This ensures that jobs are going to run on your approved vetted base images. This enforcement is invisible to the user. They write their code, submit their task, and the platform ensures that it runs in the right container and the right artifacts are landing on the right storage. That's a practical difference between a policy document and a platform level enforcement. Okay, moving on to automation security. ClearML treats machine identities as first-class citizens. Service accounts are purpose-built for automation with dedicated groups and role-based access control rules managed again at the group level, not per account. They inherit the same vault policies as your users, so your agents follow the same compliance rules as your teams. You get last active tracking, so you can see exactly when each service account was last used, making it easy to spot accounts that are no longer needed, that may be behaving unexpectedly. And credential rotation is available through the UI or REST APIs, so it fits naturally into your existing secret management workflow. Okay, so compute governance on the platform controls who gets access to your desired infrastructure. So how much can they consume, where their jobs run, and this is all through policy-driven quotas and reservations and queue-level role-based access control. So your resource pools represent your physical infrastructure. That's a GPU cluster, a bare metal servers, or cloud or autoscaler, and each pool has a defined capacity, profile sizes, and how much compute a single job would consume. ClearML's access rules control which groups can submit to which queues, and this is a critical layer on top of resource policies. So without it, a user could submit jobs to a production inference queue or a high priority fine-tuning queue that isn't intended for their team. By restricting queue access through RBAC, you're ensuring that resource policies can't be sidestepped on your platform. Compute governance and model serving security, they go hand in hand, right? Once a model moves into production, the security requirements are going to change. You're no longer protecting a development workflow now. You're protecting a live API that's serving, a real business. ClearML's AI application gateway is going to act as the secure front door for you here. All endpoints are, again, RBAC controlled. So access isn't just about having a valid token, it's about group membership. And static routes are going to decouple your external URLs from specific model instances. So you can swap, update, canary deploy models behind a stable endpoint without changing what consumers actually point to. Every request to a model endpoint is going to require a token, and tokens are time limited with configurable expiration. And of course, everything can be revoked instantly as well if required. So you also get full traceability for every model in production. You're going to have a complete chain of custody showing who trained it, what data it was trained on, and when it was deployed. If an auditor or regulator asks, how did this model get here? What's it based on? You're going to be able to answer those type of questions extremely quickly. And finally, ClearML gives you very robust audit and monitoring across every layer of the platform that we just discussed. We can track every user, dormant accounts still generating tokens, and users that possibly shouldn't exist. Service account monitoring allows for full visibility into every automated actor. You can catch abandoned credentials, off-hour pipeline activity, forgotten impersonation accounts before anything might become a problem on the platform. And because identity can be baked in through the IDP, as we discussed, every task automatically records exactly who did what, when, how, giving you a complete, immutable chain of evidence from production straight back to the original training data. So if an auditor asks again for a proof of your model's lineage, or your security team needs to investigate an anomaly, you have the exact code, you've got the environment, you've got the user identities ready to present very quickly. So by grouping workloads also into dedicated project containers, you're not just organizing models and code, you're creating a financial and security boundary here. You can see at a glance which initiatives are resource heavy and which are staying within their allocated budgets. But attribution goes deeper than just a project name, so ClearML lets you drill down into the workloads tab to see everything in terms of individual experiments, training runs, serving instances. So this is your granular evidence trail connecting high-level costs to specific engineering actions. And of course, model endpoint monitoring provides a live, centralized view of every model in production across your entire organization. It's not just about performance, though. It's about security and oversight. So you can see exactly which endpoints are active, who's calling them, and the real-time load they're actually handling. By monitoring these access patterns, you can instantly spot anomalies, identify unauthorized usage, and ensure your AI services are performing within secure, established boundaries in your environment. All this means production monitoring is giving you total transparency. It's going to transform your model endpoints from a bit of a black box into a fully audited, secure environment. So to come back to where we started, how do you secure a platform without becoming the bottleneck? You don't do it with one feature, you do it with governance built into every layer. Identity flows from your existing identity provider. Configuration is enforced by the platform, not by policy documents. Automation follows the same rules as your people, as your team, and compute is governed by policy. Production endpoints are gated, they're isolated, and they're fully traceable. That's the platform security story, governance from identity to inference. So that was the what and the why. Next videos are going to be on the how. We'll cover each layer by layer with live walkthroughs. Feel free to jump straight to the layer that matters to you most. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time today.